So today we went and saw the new How to Train Your Dragon movie, which is called The Hidden World, I think. Look at this thing on my chin. It's a razor cut. It's gross, isn't it? It was a good movie. I really liked it. What did you think of it?
I really liked it. It was good. It was a surprise because usually these types of films just like to continue.
Yeah, and it was like a closing chapter of a trilogy, wasn't it? It was really satisfying. I felt the same way I felt at the end of Return of the King. I was like satisfied this was the story, and I didn't really need to see any more. So the things that were good about it and the things that were bad. I mean, it didn't really stand up as its own movie. Like, if you haven't seen How to Train Your Dragon 2, you're not going to get a lot from this movie.
No.
And the villain was okay. It wasn't great. This whole series has had pretty weak villains. This is probably the least awful.
Yeah.
I didn't like his design. Also, he looked like an Illumination character, like or like a Sony Pictures thing. He didn't look good. The animation on his face, it was weird. He looked like a Who from Whoville. So really, it's a nitpick, but
he reminded me actually of one of the villain in, like, design wise, in Corpse Bride.
Oh, I barely remember Corpse Bride.
Yeah, just the same kind of like way that he looked. It was the one. It was played by Richard E. Grant in that film, but yeah, that's who he reminded me of. So yeah, it wasn't great.
But there are other things that were great about it. I mean, it had beautiful animation as always. The voice acting, it was good, except Kit Harington, obviously.
Kit Harington cannot.
God, his voice acting's terrible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone else is brilliant, and Cate Blanchett is still doing that incredibly specific sort of Shetland accent or whatever it is. It's really specific, like regional specific, and it ends up sounding kind of phony. But it doesn't matter because, as I say, the story's good, the animation's great. I like the fact that there's a lot of world building. Things from the last movie carry on into this one. What I've always loved about this series, from the first film that's carried right through to this one, is that actions have consequences. And it's not just like, oh yeah, that's a funny scene, and then we move on. Little character moments mean things, and decisions that people make impact the overarching story of the whole thing. And there are serious consequences to the things people do, and that's been going on since the first film. This franchise is brilliant at that.
I like that. That's one of the things I always found this franchise to be really bold, and like especially from. I'm not gonna. If you haven't seen any of them, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but at the end of every film, something has happened that'll impact the rest of the story, and as well, and the same thing happens with this one. I really like the person who, I think it's directed by someone called Dean Dubois.
Yeah.
And he's directed all of them and written all of them. But he was famous for doing the Lilo and Stitch films.
Right.
He created Lilo and Stitch, and so obviously for Disney.
Yeah.
So this was him. So I think he left Disney after that, after all the kind of Lilo and Stitch stuff, and then he started. Doing the and then I think the only other thing I've seen him do is the How to Train Your Dragon films. So
yeah, no, it's really good, and if you haven't seen the other films, watch them as well, because I think DreamWorks gets kind of a bad rap, but it's made some great movies. I'm a huge Trollhunters fan, which is DreamWorks as well. It's really good. It's a pretty short video. There's not really much I can say about it, other than if you have seen the others, you're probably going to want to see this one anyway.
Yeah.
And if you haven't, you should watch them, because if you like fantasy, if you like good drama. And also, it's not a political film, which is great. So many kids' movies. We saw the trailer for the new Captain Marvel, which looked awful. They're always ramming messages down your throat. This is a movie that just is, It's just a good movie with, it's got a positive message, but it's not all about the message. The main character, this is not a spoiler. It's throwback to the first movie. The main character is technically disabled, but it's not a thing. They don't make a thing out of it. It's, it's just a good movie, and it's a good movie for kids. I think, as adults, we enjoyed it as well. There were a lot of children in the audience when we went, and they all seemed completely enthralled by it as well.
Everything, adults and children can all get something out of it.
It's engaging. It's rare that you'll go to see a movie that has tons of kids in the audience, and the kids are silent. That's what I noticed with this movie. The kids in the cinema weren't talking.
No.
And kids, it's so hard to get a kid to shut up during a movie. But this movie, they were silent. They were just paying attention. So yeah. Gets a thumbs up from me. How to Train Your Dragon 3.
Yep.
Really, really good movie, and a great ending to the trilogy. And If all these new franchises, Marvel and DC and Star Wars, they just go on and on and on, and they never stop. I thought it was really great. They're going 3 movies, that's enough.
Yeah.
All right, see you next time for more of these and some bad creepypasta and shit. Bye!